Trade in your old spooky heating and air system for a premier heating and air system and get a $2,000 rebate right now. $2,000 with the purchase of any new heating and air system from Premier Heating and Air, a locally owned and operated company. Log on to premierishere.com today and experience the premier difference.
Welcome to Chamber Talk. I have two great guests with me today. I have Darin and Allison with Clements and Keene Insurance, and thank you guys for taking some time out of your busy schedule. It's not nearly as busy right now as it's probably going to be in the next month or two, so we're going to talk about that just a little bit. But thank you both for coming down today, and thank you for being our premier sponsor for our Chamber Smart Plan, and I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit today as well. But if you guys would, just tell, just for our viewers, just in case somebody's watching, there may be somebody that don't know who you guys are, give a little bit of an introduction about yourself and what you do, your role.
I'll take that first one. So my name again is Allison Keene. This is my dad, Darin Keene, and alongside with my grandfather, Marcus Clements, we have a local health, life, and senior insurance agency. Our goal really is to be there for the client and make what is an otherwise very overwhelming industry and process a simple one, whether that is with group health insurance, life insurance, individual or seniors. We try to be there every stage of life.
Darin?
Yes. What I'd like to say is, and this might be off the track a little
That's
bit.
okay.
But, nowadays, I think we seem to forget who the customer is and why we're in business. And we're not going to forget that at Clements and Keene. So we're going to try very hard to give you customer service, make you feel special, make you feel part of the family. So that's my commercial for that. And we really work hard at that. And we got a great staff that does that as well. But yeah, we do the life and health insurance. Just a little bit about myself. I started in 1991 with Life of Georgia, and that was what we call the home service life insurance business, door to door, and had a debit. And then in 99, Marcus and I formed the agency, Clements and Keene Insurance.
Tell me the date again.
It was in 99.
1999.
Yeah, so we're over 25 years
Okay.
now. Yeah.
Same location?
No, we were across the street, just right across the street there, the building
Okay.
in the Piggly Wiggly parking lot.
Okay.
Where Lovett Insurance
Yeah,
Agency is
yeah.
now. And
Okay.
then we moved over, I think it was 2001 was when we moved across the street to our
Okay.
location. It's worked out really well. We've been very blessed.
Fantastic. And I want to just for our folks to get to know you a little better if they don't, because what you said, Darin, and it is so important, to feel comfortable with the person that you're doing your insurance with, whether it's your life insurance or whatever kind of insurance it may be, you need to know the person. You need to be comfortable talking with them. Sometimes you may have to ask some questions and some information from them that they need to be comfortable sharing with you. So I know for you, it's been a little bit longer doing this, and you've been in this industry. For you, graduating not too long ago, but getting into
further
this.
away.
But it goes so quick. For both of you, though, I would like to know just really briefly, what made you decide this was the career for you?
Do you want to go first? Or
I'll be glad to.
I'll go second.
So I was working out of town in another industry, and I'll say it, but I got homesick.
Okay.
I was ready to be back in Dublin and be back home, and so I just started looking for jobs and opportunities, and I found one. A friend of mine hired me with Life of Georgia, and that was 91.
Okay.
All right. Did I say 91 before?
You said
Forgive me.
99. I
Yeah,
think
I'm
was
on
the-
track.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So 91, I started in the life insurance business, and I've stayed with it ever since. And had this opportunity for Marcus when he retired from MetLife for us to go together and form this agency.
Okay.
And I love it. I really do love serving the people.
Fantastic. And before you start, I do want to just say to you and thank you, because I know you were away at college and you probably had the world staring at you and endless opportunities. but you chose to come back here and serve in your community, so thank you for that. What helped you make that decision?
So, well, I am very glad to be back in Dublin, and I'm sure a little part of that was also a little bit of homesickness as well. But yeah, I went to the University of Georgia. It took me a little while to figure out exactly what I wanted to do, but I can say I've always had a heart for the senior market. And when it was time for me to actually figure out what I wanted to do, there was a place kind of in our office for me to join my granddad in the senior market. I knew I wanted something where I could be in front of people all day, I could communicate. I'm not the best if I can't talk to people throughout the day, so I knew I wanted to do something like that, and I knew I wanted to work with the senior market, and it really was kind of just the perfect place for me to jump in. And I can say, I always asked my dad as a kid, the same question, why would you do insurance? Because, as an 8-year-old, 11-year-old, insurance is not the most exciting sounding job. And he truly would always say, because of the people. I mean, we get to work with so many people in our community, and I can say it's for the very same reason that I love what I do now, is just the people that I get to work with, seeing them through all their different stages of life. It's a blessing.
Darin, you guys have a wonderful team down there. I know I've got 2 of you here today. I know we talked about Marcus just a little bit in his role, but who else goes into making your company the huge success that it is?
We have Angie Wilkes, who is our individual customer service rep, so she would help you if you're under age 65 to enroll through Georgia Access. We have Becky Wheeler, who handles our group, small business division, and that's who would help you with the Chamber Smart Plan.
Okay.
Then we have Mary Caitlin Wheeler, who she right now, I guess, would serve as your assistant.
She is my go-to gal.
Yes, she is. She's done us a great job, and she helps in that support role. And then we have Miss Ann Palmer, who retired from another insurance company. She worked with them for 40 years. She helps you at the front end. When you come in, she'll be the first person that's smiling at you when you walk in the door.
And who keeps you straight when you get home?
That would be my wife, Marla. Thank you for asking. And she helps us with the bookkeeping as well as a lot of marketing.
I couldn't wait to say that, Darin, because we were just talking about walking into the room and forgetting why we walked into the room. And I knew you had somebody else you wanted to add in there.
If you didn't,
I'm glad you remember.
Thank you. We're going to take a really, really quick commercial break, and then we're going to get into a little more in depth into some of those things that you guys actually do every day.
School might be in and the football stadiums may be full on Friday night, but the deals are still smoking hot here at Dublin Nissan. There's never been a better time to buy a crossover. With more inventory and better deals, now's the time to get up and get to Dublin Nissan. With savings of up to $4,500 off MSRP on the Frontier, and with our best inventory in years, now's the time to take advantage of the last days of the Nissan Summer Sales event. Remember, Don sells cars well at Dublin Nissan.
Since we were founded, the Houston Clinic has sought to provide the most advanced orthopedic services available to men, women, and children of all ages and all walks of life. And today, Dr. Gay and Dr. Richter continue the tradition of service in the Orange County communities. From our sports teams through every facet of this community, the Houston Clinic is not only proud to serve you, we deem it an honor. The Houston Clinic, 100 Medical Drive, Suite 400 in Dublin.
Welcome back to the show. Darin, Allison, again, thank you for taking time to come down and talk with us today. And let's just get into what does work look like for you each and every day? I know you work on some things, you may work on some different things, you all work together in the office. I've called before and asked questions and you say, hey, let me go ask Dad or let me ask my granddad, but y'all work together. But sure, there's some things that you work on individually as well. Talk to me about the different programs and things that you guys are operating.
Sure. So I'll start with the senior side of things. So ultimately, me and my granddad, we work with people who are going on Medicare. Once they are approaching 65, that'll be 3 months before their birth month, you can go ahead and apply for Parts A and B of Medicare. Where we come into the picture is to provide that supplemental coverage to go alongside that. As we say, that coverage, original A and B, will only go so far. So what we offer is a range of products for those clients, whether that is a supplement, an advantage plan, a special needs plan, which is going to be catered towards someone with a chronic condition or someone who may have Medicaid and Medicare. There's a wide variety of products there. And what we try to do is tailor those appointments to that person. So we're going to ask questions, figure out exactly what it is that you need, and what your budget may be. So we're going to discuss a lot of different components. But that's kind of my wheelhouse there,
Okay.
As well as life insurance. So we'll dip into that a little bit later, but if you want to.
Well, and let me back up just real quick, a
Sure.
question or two on there in case there's a senior or somebody approaching that age that you're talking about, because you mentioned, I think, pretty specific there. You said about 3 months prior to a
Yes.
certain age. So what are some common mistakes maybe that people are making, or what is the, hey, this is one or two things you really need to know when you turn this age, this is what you need to start planning and preparing for, and for these folks to come in and for you to talk to them and do this, is there any cost or anything associated with that for them?
So lots of good questions. First, no fee for our charge. So just to come in and meet with us, any time of year, there's no charge for our service.
Okay.
So please feel free to come in and see us. And two, as far as, what are some common mistakes that we see, a lot of times it may be waiting until the last minute. With signing up for Medicare, there are options. You can do that online, or you can go into the Social Security office to do that. That can take time for that application to process. And so we heavily advise going ahead and getting started probably in that first of your 3 months before your birth month, to go ahead and start preparing. Do that online or call the Social Security office and schedule that appointment. That way, when you come see us, you've already got that card ready to go. We can go ahead and get you set up so when your Medicare start date is happening, your supplemental coverage is starting as well.
Okay.
So I will say, just a side note, for people that are already drawing those benefits, Part A and B is typically an automatic thing. You will go ahead and receive that card in the mail. But for a lot of people, that is something that you have to actively go ahead and do.
Okay, and is there anything, Allison, if let's just say I'm bringing my mom and she's going to come, she's, birthday's in 3 months or what kind of documentation or what does she need to bring to come to be ready maybe to sign up?
So at that point, we do hope that you already have that Medicare number.
Okay.
So that Medicare card, that's really the main thing that we're going to need. Unless, if you are bringing someone with you and, they have some type of power of attorney. But 9 times out of 10, the main thing we need is going to be that Medicare card.
Is there any, and I don't know, I'm not far from that age, but are there any financial discussions or things about that as to the different prices of plans or anything according to the amount of maybe retirement or income that you have?
Sure. So there are standards, baselines as far as original Medicare goes for what your Part B will cost. Most
Okay.
of the time, your Part A is going to be free. The standard right now is $185. That can increase each year. But for some clients, depending on how they file their taxes and what that income amount is, that can impact their Part B premium price. So there can be what's known as an IRMA surcharge on that. That surcharge can also be on drug coverage. So what we do is we often look at the financials and we can determine what bracket that client will fall in. Their general price point on a supplement is not going to change, and a lot of our Advantage plans are actually $0 premium plans with copays, but that Part B price and then your drug coverage can be increased
Okay.
based on that.
That's pretty good there, Darin. She's doing a great job
hard
down
to
there
follow.
because we didn't talk about any of that before
really
you
got
guys
into the
came
weeds
down
there,
here.
but-
Well, but I people
Sure.
may want to know and
Absolutely.
need to know those
And
questions.
also, like
and so-
Marcus always says, I've been working with it.
So, yeah, and so I'm not going to give you those in-depth questions, Darin. We'll be a little easier on you. But tell me some of the services and things that you specialize and work in every day.
So the two things that mostly what I do is, first thing is group health insurance. And most of our clients are small businesses. A lot of them are family businesses, just like we have. And when I say small, I'm talking, 10 people or less. That's where most of our clients are.
Sure.
And so that brings us to the Chamber Smart Plan, which is it's a true group health insurance plan. If you are a member of the Chamber, then you can participate in it. And it does offer discounts. A lot of people have saved a lot of money with us. And with that, I'll say it's not for everyone. And if it's not, we tell you that as well. We're going to be straight up with you. But the people who have had it, it has had the best persistency. They keep that plan longer than any other plans that they've had. Also, and in our office, have the less issues to deal with at claim time. So it performs really well.
Okay.
All right.
It's good to know.
It is good to know, but just, give us a call and we'll check it out for you, let you know if it's right for you. But that's the first place we go when we're going to sell group insurance to a business.
And I think it's so important. I can't say that enough. I can say it. Darin sound like he's trying to sell his business and sell to you. But call these guys. It doesn't cost you anything to say, hey, here's what I'm paying. Can you give me a better price? Can you give me better coverage? And you're going to look and you're going to tell them, here's what I got. This is a little better. This is not quite as good. This costs more. This costs less. But here it is. And then you make a choice. And you guys, I know I can vouch for that. That's how you do it.
Yeah, and so let me just say the Chamber is our biggest supporter, so we really appreciate what you and everyone's done for us here in the community. So the second thing that I work on primarily would be health insurance for people who are not 65 and who do not have access through a job. So if they're not working at a business that offers health insurance like the Chamber plan.
I was going to say, do you know somebody among us who might fall into that category?
Yes, that's right. So if you're not offered health insurance where you work, if you're not Medicare, not a veteran.
Not quite there yet.
Not quite there yet, and I'm on the way. So that's who we deal with. So primarily under age 65. And when we get into that area, the only place you can get a true major medical catastrophic plan that covers pre-existing conditions is on the marketplace. And that's the only place you can get it if you don't have these other avenues. We help you with that. The marketplace in Georgia is now called Georgia Access. As of this year, January 1, 2025, they operate their own marketplace. So we help you do your enrollments through Georgia Access. We do not charge a fee. So if you knew what to do and you go on to Georgia Access, and many people do, and that's fine. If you type in the same thing I type in, you're going to get the same price. We're not going to charge you more because we helped you.
Right.
So the insurance company pays us. We do get paid, but you don't have to pay for it. Now, that part for people who are going through the marketplace, that's when the financial questions come in, like you asked. The premiums are based on how you file your taxes, the number of people on that tax return, as well as the income that shows up. I am not a tax person. I don't even play one on TV, but that's where we would work with your tax professional.
Right.
Because for self-employed people, there's a lot of moving parts when you're trying to calculate your income. And most people who own a business would be surprised at what they qualify for through Georgia Access to lower their premium. Most people, I don't ever qualify for anything.
Right.
There's no way you can help me. Well, more than likely we can.
But you got to call.
Exactly. That's right.
Okay. Fantastic. Are we
so-
switching back now, or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
we can talk about life insurance. So that is another aspect that I work a lot with. As far as life insurance goes, there are, just like with Medicare, a lot of different options. Just to kind of break it down in general terms, we have term life insurance, which is going to be exactly like it sounds, for a term, whether that's 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. We have whole life, that's going to be for your whole life. So there are a lot of things in between those two general terms. Again, we can make it a very tailored experience, a very tailored product, whether that's going to be living benefits, long-term care. Your options are endless. But what I do love about this section of the business is I get to work with all kinds of people. So you've got someone like me, they may be getting married, they may have children on the way or already a few, and we may be looking at both whole life and term life. You know, you may have a mortgage, kids may be going to college soon, and you've got all these financial strains to consider, and you may need more protection in the sense of you may need term life now. Some of my older clients may come in just for a burial policy. So the options are endless. We really like to just listen to our clients and again, provide a tailored experience.
So when would you recommend or would you say somebody should start buying their own insurance policy, their life insurance policy?
So I am 27 and I would say now is a great time. Because you are approaching, you know, probably looking into marriage, having a family, things like that. Those are all great things to consider starting getting into life insurance. But what I will say is I have a lot of parents and a lot of grandparents that like to go ahead and buy policies on their children. We were very fortunate where, you know, him being in the life insurance business, he was able to do that for me and my brother. And some of those policies, you can pay them up in 20 years. And so that's something that my dad can just gift me and my brother. So if you're my age, go ahead and get started. If you're a parent or a grandparent, maybe consider that as, you know, the next birthday present is a life insurance policy. It will be well worth it.
Fantastic. Hey, we need to take one more commercial break. That was easy for me to say. One more quick commercial break, and then we'll come back and wrap things up.
Hi, I'm Tom Dominy. Here at W. Nelson, we pride ourselves on providing the industry's highest quality products at the most competitive pricing. We are a full-service wholesaler specializing in plumbing, irrigation, and industrial products. With a staff that collectively offers more than 50 years of expertise, our team knows your industry, and we can answer your questions and help you get the parts and equipment you need. From mowing to Renee, we carry the plumbing, irrigation, and industrial products you need from the brands you trust. We also carry a great lineup of Milwaukee tools. At W. Nelson, our goal is the long-term success of your business. We achieve that goal with a simple commitment, doing things right, one customer at a time. If you have a question, or if you're looking for a hard-to-find part, give us a call. Our experts are ready to help. Order online, give us a call, or come by at 507 Airport Road in Dublin. We're committed to building long-term relationships with our customers by earning your business every day.
Welcome back to the show. Thank you for joining us. And again, thank you too for your time today. We were talking about insurance. We were talking about whole life, term, group policies, different things like that. Tell me, and maybe this is every company, I don't know, but once a year, I get a phone call and somebody comes and sits down and says, hey, here's where you are and here's what you might want to look at. How does that look for you guys? Is that common? Is that a practice you think everybody does? Is that something unique to you guys? And why is that so important to do?
I think it's very important, and that's how I was introduced to the business. You know, we may not see our clients on a regular basis, and so we try to schedule a review, an annual review. So I think it's very important because you would be surprised, and I've noticed since COVID, you'd be surprised at the changes you have in your life, whether it's, you know, job, income, family, a lot
All of the
has
above?
changed. Yeah, all of the above, and I've just been amazed at, you know, people say, oh, nothing's changed. Okay, well, you start asking questions, man, it has changed. So yeah, that's a very important practice.
Well, and I noticed that it's about the same time of the year each year. Is there a date and or time that you guys need to share with folks today to say, hey, this is when this type of insurance, this is when you purchase it, make your changes, or somebody, one of you speak to that?
Yeah, so our annual enrollment period actually allows us to have that annual review with all of our clients. It's a set time, and I can speak to the Medicare side of things. We both have separate times for that. October 15th through December 7th for our senior clients, that is a specific time for you to come in and we will review your coverage. And there are a lot of changes that can be made, whether that's from one Advantage plan to another, original Medicare to add on an Advantage plan, or drug plan. So that is a dedicated time just for us to look and see, have you had any medication changes, any changes in your health? Do we need to look at budget, things of that nature? So it's a short period of time. So that is one of those things that we tell people, keep that in the back of your mind, gear up for that, go ahead and start thinking of questions that you may have. But it's a great time for us just to get to see all of our clients. We really enjoy it. So we're excited that it's approaching.
Yeah, and so for the health insurance for people who are not eligible for Medicare, through Georgia Access or the Marketplace, November 1 through January 15th. So we got a little bit longer this year. I understand later that might be changing, but November 1 through January 15th. And we recommend that you call us in October.
Okay.
The way things are looking this year, the sooner the better.
Okay, so this is going to be a little different question, but I know you guys will have an answer for me. What is that one thing that either one of you would say to one of our viewers today to say, man, I sure wish you'd have called me 6 months ago or 3 months ago or whatever it is, where this person comes in and they say, well, I thought I had a policy, or I thought I had this covered, or what's the one thing if you could share some advice with somebody watching this show today to say, make sure you do this or this?
Well, on my side, that annual open enrollment is it.
Okay.
And there are a few exceptions, like changing jobs or having a baby or getting married, and there's still limitations on that. So what I wish everyone would do would call us during open enrollment, November through January 15th. Because if it's after that, I'm just,
not much you can do.
2 or 3 times a week I have to tell people I'm sorry. And I hate it. I may hate it worse than they do.
Okay, how about from your side?
Two-part, I would say that is the first component. It also breaks my heart when we get past that deadline and we have to say, there's nothing that we can do at this time. Now, I have found that there are often exceptions, but I don't want anyone to rely on that. I don't want to have to tell them there's nothing we can do. So please, please, please come see us during that time. But secondly, this is specific to life insurance. Just as soon as you can, anytime, go ahead and start thinking about life insurance, because I have seen far too many times where people have delayed that and their health may not be in the same place that it was when that was an option beforehand. That is one of the things that I hate the most.
So once you have a diagnosis, that insurance is going to go up quite substantially.
It can, and it doesn't mean you would be denied, and it may not mean that it's going to go up. There are so many different standards
Right.
that underwriters look at. But in an effort to protect yourself from any of that,
Sure.
please go ahead and get started in that process. I want to get you covered.
Fantastic. And so, again, I appreciate both of you being here today, and I'm going to kind of throw this one to you, Darin. But I do want to mention the fact, I know Allison has served in our ambassador program. You've actually served on our chamber board of directors. You were the first one to respond when I reached out several years ago and said, hey, here's an opportunity to present this Chamber Smart Plan. Why is it so important for Clements and Keene to give back in the community, and maybe what are some of your favorite things that you do to give back in the community?
Well, community is very important, and I'll go back to something, I don't know if it was off the camera, but we're talking about the people that came back or decided to stay. At my age, we used to learn reading, writing, and Route 80, when people left. But more and more, this community, thanks to the chamber, and thanks to people in leadership, people have opportunities to stay here when they're young. They don't have to leave, and they can raise their family. So being a part of that, that's really exciting. Working with the different organizations and being involved. So I'll put a plug in here for the chamber. The events that we have, like the business after hours and the breakfast. I haven't been to one yet that somebody didn't ask me about health insurance.
Awesome.
So it gives us an opportunity to meet that need. And we just love working with people, and we've been very blessed to be in Dublin and Lawrence County to do it.
Fantastic, and I'm gonna let you finish this up today, Allison, if you wanna look into that camera and just tell folks why they need to come see you down at Clements and King.
Of course. Well, thank you again for having us.
Thank
We've really
you.
enjoyed it. But again, at Clements and Keene Insurance, it's all about the customer. We want to make sure that you are taken care of and treated like family, and that when you walk out of the door, you have a much better understanding of what we know can otherwise be a bit of a complicated industry. So when you come in, you will be treated like family, and we will make sure that you feel confident in the choices that you've made. So thank you so much for supporting us. We love what we do, and we couldn't do it without you.
Thank you for being with us today, and thank you for being with us today, helping us make it another great day for business in Dublin and Lawrence County.